Be okay, print. Be okay, print. Be okay, print. We tell the stories bold and true. Spotlighting me, spotlighting you. Be okay, boss ladies and Kings magazines. Kings magazine. Boss ladies in Kings magazine. Liverpool's more than a name. It's a vibe, it's a flame. Power in every single page. Dreamers and doers shining bright. We write the truth, we own the mic. Hook, crescendo. Be okay, be okay, be okay. Boss ladies in Kings magazine. Be okay, print. Boss ladies in Kings magazine. Be okay. Where the culture speaks and the crown fits.
I'm inviting you to get your BLK print merch as well as your copy of the inaugural issue of BLK Print magazine. This is where we are honoring our sweepstakes winners and our bloggers. We invite you to go to our website, which is girlbossglobalhq.com. Also, we invite you to go to our YouTube channel, which is Boss Ladies and Kings Magazine TV, and subscribe. We will be featuring our podcast every Sunday, and that will be 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. This is brought to you by Girl Boss Global Jingle and Commercial Production. All right, Girl Boss Global, you better get with it then. Hello, everyone. Welcome to BLK Print TV. This is the official media arm of BLK Print Magazine, guys. And I want to tell you, this is where culture meets conversation and legacy meets visibility, okay? So through our three powerful powerhouse podcasts, we have conversations with the book boss, we have Boss Ladies and Kings TV talk show, and then we also have compelling conversations. We're shining the spotlight on creators, authors, entrepreneurs who are building brands that matter, okay? So tonight's show is extra special because every guest has a legacy connection to me, whether you know it or not. So we have Tracy Ambrose. She is one of the featured sweepstakes winners, and she has my absolute favorite spread from the very first issue of BLK Print magazine. You guys never know where this magazine will go. So we that is a legacy connection. She's in the inaugural issue, and she helped me and helped us make history. Okay. And so we also have Alan Strother, who is one of my amazing Girl Boss Global publishing authors. He is the first official published author under our imprint, Divine Ink. And he was recently ranked number 5 on Amazon's African American poetry list. So, legacy connection. Did you hear me? Finally, we have Sheri Singleton. She is a talented BLK Print magazine writer and blogger who just opened her own storefront in Pennsylvania. So, get this, guys. 2 of these guests are joining us all the way from California, while Sheri's representing Pennsylvania. This proves that BLK Print and Girl Boss Global is truly a global vision. Okay? So because the world is a big place and because BLK Print magazine and TV is here to get you there, hey, subscribe, support. If you're listening on Spotify, welcome. If you're watching us on Facebook or YouTube Live, we ask that you like and share this video, especially on YouTube. We're trying to build up our YouTube channel, guys. Please go like and subscribe. I am putting up content all day, every day. Okay? Soon as I come back, guys, I will bring up my 3 special guests. We'll be right back. Hello, guys, and welcome back. We are
Hello.
here. Hi. We are here with another powerful episode, guys, of Boss Ladies and Kings TV talk show. This is where creativity meets purpose and hustle meets heart. So, tonight's topic, guys, is the evolution of the entrepreneur from vision to visibility because the dream is just the beginning and it's what you do after the vision that defines who you become. So each of my guests tonight represents a different lane of creativity, poetry, fashion, and boutique culture. But they all have one thing in common. They built something from the ground up, turned obstacles into opportunities, and are still evolving in real time. So, before our guests formally introduce themselves, I am going to ask Sheri to speak a prayer and a blessing over tonight's podcast and our viewers and our my other guest here tonight. Then we will have Tracy introduce herself, followed by Mr. Strother, and then back to you, Sheri.
Thank
Hey,
you.
first giving honor to God, who's the head of my life. Trina, I just want to say thanks for this opportunity. Dear Heavenly Father, we just want to thank you
Thank
for
you, God.
another day to just be in your presence and your glory, to be under your mercy and your grace. I want to just pray for this podcast that you continue to bless the founder, continue to bless every little avenue, every lane, every journey, every door that needs to be open for this podcast and everything that Miss Trina touches for it to be blessed, pressed down and
Thank you,
shaken and
God.
running over, not just for her, but for every listener, every reader, every
Yes,
watcher
God. Yes,
that's going to get
God.
something out of each and every
In
segment.
the
For God,
name
this
of
is not
Jesus.
about us, it's about you. So we ask that you remove us out of the way and we ask that you come in and just anoint this segment, this podcast today, so someone can be blessed and for someone can be restored, for someone can walk and learn how to hear our message and learn how to walk in their gifts and divine talents. Again, this is not about us, it's all about you. So we ask that you come into the every room and every home and just bless it so we can just do what you tell us to do. In your mighty name, we ask all of these things. Amen.
Amen and
Amen.
amen. Miss Tracy.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I am Tracy Sykes Ambrose, CEO and designer of Tracy Ambrose Wrap, where crochet meets classy and chic.
Okay, and then we have Mr. Alan Strother.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Alan Strother. I am the author of two books, Sleeping Through the Fire, and my latest book, Behind Closed Words.
Awesome. And then who else do we have?
Well, that just leaves me. Hey, everybody. My name is Sheri Singleton, and I am the owner creator of My Butterfly Effects. And I'm just, again, so honored to be here today. And I'm so super excited. I am originally from Bethlehem, Georgia. I am the blessed mother of three amazing sons. I have two wonderful daughter in laws and two grandchildren who inspire me every day. And being the owner of My Butterfly Effects was just a transformation, and I'm just so super excited to share it today.
I lost you.
I'm sorry. As
Okay.
everyone knows, I love structure. So I am definitely going to jump right into my questions. I have already pre-sent them to my guests. But as you know, if you don't know anything about me, I think I'm a real journalist. So you may get a pop question here and there.
Okay.
So don't be surprised. But anyway, I want to start with Alan Strother. Y'all, Alan, I wish I had my soundboard up. I would be doing some applause right now. Alan, I want to ask you with this amazing book that you have, Behind Closed Words, what did that title mean to you personally? And why was it your title for your poetry book? And tell us what it means.
Well, the title was very important. It really describes what's in the book. Really, all of us have heard the old saying, "Behind closed doors." You don't know what goes on behind closed doors. You see a couple and they look one way, but behind closed doors, there's something else. You see a teenager and you go, "What's going on with this kid?" But behind closed doors, there's something going on that we may not know about, and just so many scenarios. But with this book, it's really about me, um, and things that I think about, things that I believe in, things um, that that make me smile, things that make me cry, things that make me happy, things that I dream about. It's all encompassed into that. And it took a whole lot of years to put it together. But I think the book came at a good time. Came at a good time in my life when I had something of substance to say. That,
Wow.
yeah.
I guess that kind of leads us into that next question because I know that you've written for years. How has your creative process changed as you've grown older and wiser?
Spiritual growth.
Either way,
No,
this is
that's
this is
part
you.
of it.
Hey,
Spiritual growth,
check me.
social awareness, maturity as a man, experience being a father, a son, nephew, uncle, and whatever other titles I that I may have missed. But all of those things, they help mature you and turn you into, really, especially if you put God first, it turns you into another human being. You know
Amen.
what I mean? When God is at the head, He makes things real clear for you.
Yes, he does.
And as you mature with that clarity that God gives you and those experiences, the creativity and the artistry kind of synonymous with that, and it works real well together. So that's kind of where it came from.
It really does. I want to take a moment to, first of all, acknowledge some of our guests that are on tonight. Of course, we have the BLK Print family, Adrian. I know I saw Carol on. We are going to give some exclusive shout outs as we go through the interview. I do want to jump right to Miss Sheri because we have three guests. So, and I want to give each of you time, but I do want to let y'all know this is independent media, honey. We can be here all night if we want to. Okay. The bills are paid. Okay. So, Cherie, the butterfly represents transformation. What transformation have you experienced in starting your own boutique?
You know, my butterfly effects was truly born, like I said, from my own transformation. The butterfly for me represents faith, beauty, and growth, and becoming something new after going through, a difficult season that I had to go through. And, before this boutique, that most painful experience of my life happened in the form of a divorce where I was forced to go into my own cocoon and really see myself from the inside out and, everywhere. And I really had to just, become more mentally aware of who I was in that moment. And, that moment where that dark part happened was in the divorce. And that forced me to walk away from an abusive marriage, which I was married
Wow.
to a pastor. And
Wow.
that broke me down in a way, but it also became that moment in my life where God started rebuilding me at the same point while I was in that cocoon stage. And in that healing process, I turned back to my creativity side, which I had, just downplayed, so long going through that experience where, sometimes, let me just put it that way. You can't grow seeds in toxic soil. You know what I'm saying? And if you do manage to grow some seeds in that toxic soil, they won't grow well. That fruit is going to
Wow.
have some issues with it. And so, in that healing process, when I turned back to my creativity, I started crafting centerpieces, but my intention was to start with two candlesticks, y'all. One day I was going through some stuff and I said, you know what? I got these two candlesticks. I'm going to go to Michael's or wherever and I'm going to get some stuff and I'm going to decorate them. And, I never did decorate those two candlesticks, by the way, but I started doing centerpieces and wreaths and small gifts for people. And just one thing turned to another that, and that transformation, like the butterfly, wasn't just something about becoming it wasn't just all about becoming a business owner with me. It was rediscovering my worth, my strength, my faith, knowing that I was worthy enough, I was pretty enough, that God gave me purpose and plan to do this. And, in that cocoon stage where I was going through that journey of redefining and rebuilding myself, my butterfly effects was born from that experience.
Wow. Well, let me tell you, right now, I am really trying to stay professional, girl, because I'm about to jump out of my skin with just, I'm about to shout. Like, this is amazing. I got goosebumps. And just to hear you, you spoke my heart even today. I love your spirit. And Cherie, you are so much, we are so much alike. We're kindred spirits because y'all think I do a lot. She do a lot too, honey. And when I tell you she just got her storefront, I'm going to let her tell you about it. But let me tell you, I was just smiling because she had enough stuff to fill it up and then some. It's
I
probably
bet.
overflowing. So you better work, Cherie. So let me ask you, what was the hardest and most rewarding part of moving from online to owning that physical storefront space that you do?
Oh my gosh, guys. So look, check this out. The hardest part was definitely taking that leap of faith. But look, online, you're in your comfort zone. Y'all know what I mean? You can work quietly behind the scenes. And if something doesn't sell, if no one really, nobody's really seeing what you got going on. They're not seeing that things aren't selling or ain't moving or your books ain't shuffling because, you're doing things behind the scenes. But opening a storefront meant, stepping out where everyone could see me, like out on the forefront, my brand, my faith, everything since that point has been on display. And I had to learn everything from permits to displays, from managing,
Right.
foot traffic and balancing inventory. And, what I thought would be overwhelming to me, I'm going to tell you about God's grace and mercy. God's grace and mercy, when he comes into your life and blesses you with something, it's intentional. And he had made it so easy for me to walk into this storefront that I had no doubt that it was his divine purpose and plan for me. From, just like you said, from having enough stuff, things to fill it up and then some, to already having back orders, having to give shout outs to get partners to help me keep up with things. I mean, it's just his favor. But the most rewarding part is seeing people walk into the doors, touch things that I made with my hands, and speak about them. When they say things like, wow, coming into your store is different. It's such a peaceful place. It just makes you feel warm and inviting. That means the most to me because when I was going through that transformation stage, that's when I needed someone the most. I needed a place to go that would wrap me softly and in grace and mercy enough so my butterfly wings could be exposed and I really could just shine with God's purpose and plan for my life. I'm sorry, I drew that out a little bit. I'm trying to be quick. Mm,
I can't hear you.
I can't hear you,
Oh,
Katrina.
I am so so sorry, y'all.
Okay.
I juggle back and forth between my mute button. I do this at work. Y'all know I work from home as a tech support agent. So let that be the reason. Yay for the mute button.
You're funny.
So, but anyway, I just want to say, don't worry about how long you take when you answer. Just answer from your heart. Like I said, this is not about me. This is about you guys. I'm so honored. I've been so nervous all day. I feel like I'm interviewing the Obamas and, like celebrity people. And and you guys are celebrities to me. And I'm going to tell you, I'm so impressed by each of you, which is going to bring me to Miss Tracy Ambrose. Listen, y'all, let me just say this before I have to introduce the introducee. You know what I mean? But this was my favorite layout because, guys, a magazine is made of what? Pictures. And when
Right.
she submitted her pictures, I was just like, and then of course, I have
Thank
to do my
you.
research, went to the website, which I'll also, guys, all of your information, we're going to plug it in. We're going to plug your book. We're going to plug
Okay.
your website. We're going to plug your website, Cherie, and anything that you want. Y'all can put it in that private chat if you want, and I'll make sure that it
Okay.
gets in here. But yeah, we
Excellent.
got you. But Tracy, I'm gonna quit gushing. Let me bring you on, Tracy. So, well, you've already introduced yourself, but I want to just
Yes.
say your wraps have become a recognizable brand.
Thank
And
you.
what inspired the name? Because we got to
Oh,
know the name, which I had
yes.
wrong, but we got to
Yes.
know that
No, that's
this
okay.
the signature style behind your designs, and just tell us about you and in your brand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As you stated, my name is Tracy Sykes Ambrose. owner and designer of Tracy Ambrose Wrap, and that is spelled with the acronym WRAP. And it stands for with revelation and purpose. That's why I was grinning so hard when you kept saying purpose, purpose, purpose. And at that time, I didn't know back in 2005, 2006, that it would really become a purposeful, hands-on type of business. Had no idea. I just knew that I was making large wraps at that time. So I needed it to have a dual purpose. And at that time, I was also married to a minister. And then some years later, divorced. But so that's where I got the actual name from. And the recognizable part of it is it came from my heart, my hands. I love to work with my hands. Matter of fact, I'll slip in this whole idea. I made a wrap, so a large scarf for a supervisor. I was working in corporate America, and she was leaving from West Coast to East Coast. And didn't have any money to get her anything, but I knew I could work with my hands. So I went ahead, created this large wrap, and she marveled over it, stating things like, "This looked like you bought it at like Macy's or Bloomingdale's and that kind of thing." I'm like, "No," and she's like, "You did not make this yourself," and I was like, "Yes, I did." And immediately I knew that I had to put a name to it to express really behind the scenes and also to cover people. So it has a duality on the definition. WRAP is a wrap. It is to cover you. However, behind the scenes, the grassroots of it, if you will, is with revelation and purpose, because I don't create any of my designs from a pattern. Maybe two of them are pattern based, but they are visions that I get from God, to be very honest. Texture, feeling the yarn or anything like that creates a like, I could probably make a hooded something or something, unique and not like anyone else's. The
Wow.
word wrap can also stand for wearable, restorative, artistic pieces, because that's exactly what I want people to feel when they're wearing my designs. Each piece is something you can live in, heal in, and express yourself through. It's not, I have also a slogan that says, "Not your grandmother's crochet." So no slight, no dig on granny, because that's where we get it from, right?
Right,
We get it
right.
from our, but it's not that. Okay, it is clearly not that. My signature style grew from the love of crochet, obviously, and storytelling. Crochet has such a deep history in our culture. It's patient, it's powerful. It carries the energy of the person creating it. I wanted to take the tradition and make it modern, make it bold, make it stand out and meaningful. Each piece I design is hand crocheted with intention. I know exactly what it is, and sometimes I make mistakes, and sometimes the greatest or the
Best
most
pieces.
popular, yeah, most popular pieces are from my mistakes. I'll be like, I didn't
Right.
even start off making a handbag, but here you go, that kind of thing. Every piece I design is hand crocheted with intention, blending textures and color. I rarely use your typical yarn. That's where the slogan, "Not your grandmother's crochet," because it's usually the yarn that kind of knots up after a while, after you wear it,
Hmm.
things like that. I use what's called specialty yarn, yarn that you wouldn't even think that
Are
is
you
really
wearing a
yarn.
piece tonight?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at it. Can you give us a little glam
A
shot
little
of
a
it?
little twirl. I'll
Yes. Can
I'll
you give
I'll
us a twirl?
I'll back up.
Back up. Look at that, guys. She made that.
Yes,
And can you just shout out your website for people that are on right now?
absolutely. It is Shop Tracy, and that's spelled EY, TRACEY, Ambrose, AMBROSE, wrap, WRAP.com.
I'll get that in there. I'll get that in there. Well,
Thank you.
while we're talking about this, and I'm going to tell you the reason I feel like I'm interviewing celebrities is because I went to your website, but I
Yes.
happen to have my own little birdie in California who kind of introduced me and put me on to you
Yes.
even before you submitted to be in the sweepstakes. So I was
Right.
already on you, right?
Oh,
I'd already
okay.
been, girl, I'd already
Okay,
been to your
Omi.
website and everything, honey. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna buy looked at the prices. I was like earrings.
Right.
But I'm gonna support you definitely,
Yes, ma'am.
definitely.
Thank you.
And but it was saying all of that, like knowing that you're one of the things that Adrian said, Hope Flood wears her items, and Hope Flood is
Yes.
a very popular comedian. She's a
Yes.
celebrity client. So how does
Yes.
that feel with your items being in different fancy storefronts, from what I understand, as well
Uh,
as celebrities wearing your pieces, your
okay.
crocheted pieces?
Yes, ma'am. It is actually surreal. As an independent designer, starting with just yarn and a hook, right? Because crochet are just to give a little tutorial, slight tutorial. Crochets are with the hook. Knitting is with the two needles. Okay, so a lot of people will call crochet knitting in the crochet world kind of drives us crazy. But other than that, honestly, it's a dream come true seeing your designs worn by, you know, like you say, Hope Flood, the comedian, DJ Battlecat. I don't know if you guys know any a hip hop producer and music artist and community activist, and also an up and coming or a new R&B artist named Jane Hancock. She plastered her whole her whole scene was with one of my bucket hats. I just couldn't believe it. It was so real. It wasn't about the spotlight. It was about the validation because they could have picked anybody. They literally could have picked anyone. And as a matter of fact, one of the um, um, popular influencers. Her name is Alicia, and it is I am underscore Alicia, ALICIA underscore on Instagram. She put wore one of my designs to Essence Fest on the red carpet, and I just happened to see her. She didn't tell me. She didn't say anything.
Wow.
She said nothing. And I saw it. I was like, "OM Jesus!"
I
I
bet.
love
could not
I
could
bet.
not believe it. So it just reminded me that staying true to my craft, my culture, and my purpose has power in it. Like she
Yes.
chose me to wear on the red carpet, like literally.
Right.
It's
Well,
just
well, I
it's been
want you to
surreal.
know. I want you to know when I get my NAACP award, I will be wearing Tracy Ambrose wrap as well, and I will.
Talk to
They
me,
will.
sis.
They
I
will be
got you.
saying that she's dressed tonight in Tracy Ambrose wrap.
That's
I
What was
right.
know,
it with
right?
revelation and purpose, honey?
Yes, ma'am.
That was beautiful. I am
Yes,
so
ma'am.
excited. Let's read some of our comments. We have quite a
Okay.
few people on tonight, and then
Okay.
I am going to give you guys a chance to give some individual shout outs because I'm sure some of your people are on. I do have a comment pinned here. It was
Okay.
from our brother Dreyfus, who is one of our writers for the magazine, and he
Excellent.
says, "The will of God will never take you where the grace of God won't cover
And that's
you."
a
We
statement.
have
Yes.
Amen,
so many
Gracious.
people wishing you guys well, but
Thank
let me just
you.
see what we have here. Give me 1 second. We have a lot of comments. So we have, of course, we have Adrian on. Um, Let me see what she's saying. Adrian says, "Hey Tracy." She says, Tracy Sykes Ambrose Wrap is everything. Yeah, so she has
Thank
your.
you.
I did put your website in there. I'm
Yes.
having a hard time reading this chat. I may have to come back to it because it is very small. We have so many comments coming through. We have Elder Carol Jackson on. She's another writer for the magazine.
Thank you,
She's in
girl.
Austin, Texas. So Texas is hearing about you guys. We know who you are, and I'm gonna tell y'all, California showed out so tough in the sweepstakes. You are welcome in Texas at any time, and I
I've
hope
heard
that you
that.
all will be at the Mics and Manuscripts 2026 because it's not going to be your ordinary book festival. We have spots for vendors, regular vendors, podcasters. It's for
Wow.
entrepreneurs, authors, podcasters. It's where the culture comes together, honey. This is going
I
to
heard
be
that.
amazing. So I do want to see you guys there.
Yes.
Let me see who else we have. Oh, man, we have so many people. I can't get through these comments. We're going to have to come back through them. I know you guys have some people on. I'm not for
Yes.
sure. We have Michelle David who says she loves Alan's book. It is so powerful. And
Yes.
Alan does have a powerful book. I had to call Alan a couple of times during his publishing process, was like, nobody told you to write this poem, right? Nobody told you to write this one. As a matter of fact, I was telling my daughter one night, I was telling Alan I had to send him a screenshot because me and my daughter were talking on the phone, and she says, Mom, what are you doing? I said, I'm editing a book. And she said, what kind of book? I said, it's a poetry book. And she says, read me some of it. And I just read a little piece. She said, okay, Mama, that was bars. I was like, okay, I guess.
Wow.
so, so I did send that to Alan. So we have, let me see who else we have on. We have Zaya Marley. Yes, I'm at Texas. We have so many people on, guys. I can't get to everyone's comments. So if I don't mention you, please charge it to this chat and not me and not my heart. But if you guys want, I want to give you guys a moment to give a shout out to anybody you want to shout out. We're going to take a quick break after that, and we'll be right back with our closing group segment.
Okay. Who are we starting with?
Anybody? Whoever speaks.
Okay, I can speak.
Okay,
Okay.
come on with it.
Okay. I just came back from Texas. So, Houston, Texas, my peeps may be on here. I can't see the chat because it is very small on my screen. However, hello to my dad, Ray Sykes. Hello to my brothers, Raymond Sykes and Colby Sykes and Sterling Sykes and my sister, Ramonda Rady Sykes. And also, shout out to my mom in heaven, Wanda V. Wilson. And then my cousin Marcus, and then my boo thing, Derek Wilson, DJ
Okay,
Ism.
okay,
And
okay. Is that him trying to enter my chat? I keep seeing DJ Ism. He trying to get up in here. Okay, tell you y'all can't be together all the time. Tell him you're doing something right now.
we just got back from Texas, literally this afternoon. So yes, all of my family. I'm sorry I didn't mention everyone, but yes. Hello.
Awesome. Alan, do you want to shout out anyone?
Yeah, you guys have about an hour?
We have about two
Oh my
days if
goodness.
you need
Oh my goodness.
it.
Well, there's quite a few people, so I'll kind of round it off. First person is going to be my mom. She's the book was dedicated to her, so as soon as you open the first page, you'll see my dedication to her. Of course, my kids. I have four wonderful children. My sweetheart, Shelly David. Good friends, Anthony Turner, Lane Cooper, and I have a host of aunts and uncles, some still with us, some have passed, that are absolutely amazing. And if it weren't for them participating in my life, along with both my parents, I wouldn't be this guy standing before you. So I'm appreciative to them as well. And last but certainly not least, give glory to God.
Awesome, awesome. So Cherie, we're back at you.
Hey, I want to give some shout outs to my sisters both of my sisters who always taught me that I am beautiful and worthy. I want to give a shout out to my beautiful mom, Linda, for always teaching me how to be humble and always walk in grace and to never give up on love, no matter how things transform. And I know y'all gonna think this is crazy, but check this out. I want to give a shout out to my ex, because if it wasn't for you, pushing me the way you push me, baby, I would have never been walking in my purpose and divine planning that God had for me. So I want to give you kudos, because what you did to try to hurt me, God did to build me up. You know what I'm saying? So kudos to you, buddy, because man, you got me lit over here. Thanks.
Heard that.
That's awesome.
It be like that sometimes. Well, guys, before we go to our break, I want to give a shout out not only to the three of you, but also to our viewers, our audience. And believe it or not, I want to give a shout out to Girl Boss Talk magazine. People may not know this, but that was my very first magazine. It ran successfully for 4 years. This BLK print is actually the grown-up version. So I tell everyone all the time, we're not starting from scratch. We are starting from experience, but this is our very first time including men in the magazine. But I want to say this, what Girl Boss Talk did for me, it taught me how not to be a hater. It taught me how to celebrate other women. It taught me to realize, wow, there are other women that are just as talented, if not as more, just as passionate, just as awesome as I am. So thank you guys. Shout out to the original writers from Girl Boss Talk magazine. My 4 MVPs came over to BLK Print, and Sheri, I need to tell you, Sheri acting like a vet. Sheri came in on the marketing tip, and like the team is amazing, guys. So I want you to know that you guys are featured in this magazine, and I'm doing everything I can to push it out everywhere it can go, because you guys deserve that, and that's what this is about. It's a big old world out there. Let's be a part of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
TT,
Yeah.
I forgot to mention my siblings.
Yes.
Yeah, them too.
And my
Okay.
2 sons.
Yeah, okay.
Go.
Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay. Anybody else? Really? Okay, we'll come back right after break, guys. During our commercial break, of course, y'all know I'm going to be playing my own original music that I have created. I have introduced my new AI artist. Her name is Queen Quill. I've been writing behind Queen Quill for a long time. She is just coming out, and then I gave her a picture with AI. That was it. She's been written for a long time, but she is just coming out. So I want to tell you guys that here we can help you get your exposure. So if you're listening and you have a business, you have a brand, you have a gift, you have an organization, you have an event, send it to me. I'd be more than happy to put it here. This is where the culture speaks and your crown fits. We'll be right back after these messages, guys.
I don't need a shortcut, don't need a deal. Every step I'm climbing it, steady and real. No handouts, no favors, I'll carry my weight. I'm building my future, won't bargain my fate. People might doubt, but I won't break. My strength is rising in every mistake. I got a fire that nothing can shake, 'cause I know who gave me the drive it takes. It's my faith and hustle, yeah, that's the key. God gave the vision and the fight in me. From the bottom to the top, I'll run this race. Faith and hustle, covered by His grace. I'm not here for easy, I'm here for true. What I've been given, I'll see it through. Sweat on my brow, but joy in my song. With every setback, I still press on. People might doubt, but I won't break. My strength is rising in every mistake. I got a fire that nothing can shake, 'cause I know who gave me the drive it takes. It's my purpose, I'll win this fight. Not by luck, no, not by chance. This is God's timing, this is my dance. Faith and hustle, my victory song. With God beside me, I can't go wrong. From the bottom to the top, I'll take my place. Faith and hustle, covered by His
We're back.
We are back. And listen, let me tell you something. You cannot listen to that song in the morning and not get up and go get it. I promise you.
For
If you
real.
are ever feeling like you don't, you're having a hard day or you're having a hard time getting started, put on Faith and Hustle, guys. It is streaming on all platforms. It looks like we lost Tracy. Oh, she's coming back. Here she comes back in. All right, I see you, girl. All right, Tracy, we got you. DJ Islam is still trying to get on up in here, child. He probably sitting right next to you. We gonna bring him up. Tell him
Oh my gosh, I
tell
love
him to
it.
do his eyebrows like this. We're
I
gonna bring
love
him
it.
up before we leave the show. We'll bring him up. Tell him to go on and represent. But yeah, look at he getting ready. I see that little Mike getting ready. That little Mike is just getting ready. But welcome back to everybody, guys. We like to have fun as well. Y'all know I'm a comedian, so don't ever forget that part either. Okay.
Right.
But I want to give you guys a final question, and then we have a couple of group questions here. But Alan, I do want to know, what would you say to other writers who kind of maybe either taking a break from writing or they're trying to find their way back to the pen?
I would say if they are true writers and want to write with honesty and write from the heart to where it really moves and encourages people, it's going to kind of sound like a cliche, and I hope it doesn't. But I would encourage them to just start talking to God a little more.
Hmm.
Doesn't have to be long, drawn out preacher's prayer. Just brief conversations about what you're seeing and experiencing. That's the first thing. The second thing is get a pen and just pick it up. Put that pen in your pocket with not your laptop or not your phone, but with a little pad. And try not to focus on being creative, but focus on writing down things that you see around you that move you. You know, if you're in a place of business, for instance, and you see a lady and she's confined to a wheelchair, but she has the brightest personality in the place, jot that down. You know, if you walk by a group of teenagers and one of the teenagers speaks and the other ones just kind of mumble with their head down looking at their cell phone, write that down. What'd you think about that? Write down the little things that either encourage you, move you, make you upset. Can be a sentence, could be a paragraph. What will happen is during those conversations with God that you're having, including your regular prayer, He's going to start making things real clear to you. And pretty soon, those little things that you're jotting down are going to expand. They're going to become deeper. They're going to make more sense to you. And it'll create an honesty and a truth in your writing. And I think that would be the best advice that I could give, is pick it up and start with just putting down things that are around you, things that you see, encouraging things, things that make you smile, things that make you cry, and try not to be creative at that point. And the creativity is going to come, I promise.
Excellent.
TT, if you don't mute yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Y'all know y'all see how quick I did it. It's right here by my finger, like I have that control. So But Sheri, we're back to you. See, y'all know what? I'm going to say this before I continue with my questions. One day, guys, I am going to have a studio and I am going to have
Oh,
people running those kind of controls for me. So
I
y'all have
heard
to give
that.
me a break. Give me a break, y'all. I'm doing
Yes.
everything myself. I'm producing, writing, scripting, everything. So, but it is going to get better. I see it already. I see it. And y'all just gave me the energy that and the inspiration that I needed. So,
Wow.
Cherie, to you, how do you balance being creative and being a businesswoman, especially in today's fast-paced retail? Because you in retail, like you said, they coming in. How
Mhm.
do you balance all of that in today's world?
Well, I always say this is that when I try to balance things myself, I know I'm going to stumble and fall. But before I step my feet on the ground every morning, I always pray first and ask God to order my steps and to walk before me in my day and order it for me. Because if I just move freely as Sherry, as people say, or Cherie, then I know I'm going to fail. But that balance is, something that I work on every single day. Um, the creativity flows, naturally. It's a gift. It kind of runs, in my family. But running a business, it does require, I've learned that it requires structure, focus, and you definitely have to have a strategy. And you definitely have to stay grounded in God's purpose or plan. And I've learned, to just try to stay organized and to also give myself room to grow and to know that it's okay to make mistakes. It doesn't matter if I make $1 that day or if I make $1,000 that day. That dollar is still just as a bigger blessings as that $1,000 is in that day. Now, don't
Mhm.
get me wrong. I want the $1,000 days every day, but I have to just stay grounded in what God has for me. Everybody is not made to be, their purpose that God has is not for you to just be, everywhere, and I had to learn to be okay with where God has me. So just
Mhm.
staying that balance between where God has me at and where I know He's leading me to is just something that I just have to just give myself those motivational chats every day. Like, girl, you got this. You're worthy. You know what I'm saying? When things moving a little slow, I'm like, don't get frustrated. This is just a part of, God's balance for everything. Because we need to remember that and I'm just got to get this in here. I got to get this in here. We just have to remember that every biblical person in the Bible always had struggles. They either cussed, they either stuttered, they either, killed somebody. I mean, we
Mhm.
could just start with Moses right from the
Mhm.
beginning, and for
Mhm.
after that 30 years, he was
Yes.
Yes.
hiding and ducking and diving his purpose and plan.
Mhm.
But in that same 30 years, when he was running and ducking and diving, God was also reshaping and molding. So that's what I just want to
Right.
tell anybody out there, just to don't worry about what someone else is doing. Don't compare yourself to someone else's journey. Just stick with your journey. Just like Alan said, same retrospect goes to this. Write it down, jot down your purpose and plan, make those vision boards, and don't make a plan for yourself that ain't obtainable. You know what I'm saying? Don't make $1 million plan when you're working on $100 bucks. That just
Trina.
that
That part.
yeah, I know God can do it for you. I know God gonna do it for us, but and you have that expectation that God is gonna do that for you, but you also have to stay mentally grounded, that you
Yes.
have to just take those steps, even if they're baby steps to succeed. You'll get there.
Right.
That's great. And so, Tracy, with the
Yeah.
knee,
Yeah.
what advice would you give to aspiring designers about building relationships? Because I know that that's important, and
Yes.
getting their products into stores. So, all your designers and people that are trying to get your brands into stores, this is your put your big ear on.
Okay. Come on in. Uh, the biggest advice is to build relationships before you build sales. So if you're not connected to even the store owner, let alone your customers or your supporters, those that share your information from social media platform to the next social media platform, it takes time to connect with people, right? They got to trust you. They got to see the transparency. So whether it's a boutique owner, a stylist, another entrepreneur that you may want to collab with. Customers, let them see you, let them see your vision, let them see your process, your
Mm-hmm.
purpose. Like put it all out there. So hold it on to anything like that. It mutes it. It does not help you grow. It does not help you plant seeds. You
Hmm.
just holding the seeds,
Mm.
right? You're just holding seeds in your pocket. And I like to throw this in there always. And there was one scripture that I had to obtain and keep it in my head while going through my divorce. And I apply it to every part of my life, including my business. And this is for other designers or businesses who want to become um, other designers in other stores and boutiques and things like that. So if you want to collaborate and you want to have your items on shelf, keep in mind Galatians 6 and 9. Do not grow weary in doing good. You're doing good, for
Right.
in due time, you
Mm,
will reap
mm,
a
mm.
harvest if you faint not.
If you faint
Translation, if
not.
you don't give up.
Amen.
So you cannot give up. Your business is fine. You may have to tweak it. You may have to make a right turn or a left turn, but you have to move. You have to move. And you have to build those relationships. That's the key thing. And don't be afraid to start small.
Mm-hmm.
It might be a smaller section than you would like inside this store or a pop up or a collaborative, event or anything like that. It may be small, but start there.
Never despise humble beginnings.
Right.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And grassroots. Never.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. So we're
Amen.
going to move into our final questions. I have group questions. If you guys, we're going to go for the answers. We'll go Alan, then we'll go Sheri, and then we'll go Tracy. Okay, we'll just keep that round robin. But
Okay.
Alan, and this is the question for all you guys: how do you handle moments when your vision outgrows the
Mm,
people or the spaces around you?
mm,
Yeah, that's pretty much going to happen to anybody that has a big vision, especially if it's out of the norm. If you tell somebody, hey man, I want to go get a job at this donut shop over here, then the people around you are cool. He's going to get a job at the donut shop.
right.
But if you tell them, I'm going to go to pilot school because I want to fly commercial planes, then it changes a little bit.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the positive feedback that you would have got from the donut shop, you may not get because this is a little bit foreign to minds that aren't thinking the way yours is.
Hmm.
I hope that makes sense. So you
Hmm.
don't put them down. You don't hate them for it. You have to move on. If there's a way for you to reach back and grab them and help them, if they desire and want it and are willing to work, then do so. Otherwise, you just got to keep moving, man. You can't, as especially as Black folks, we've had enough uh, dealing with chains and
Right.
anvils and things that are holding us back. So even the people that are around us that we may love and care about, we can't allow that to happen. We don't
Right.
have to forget about them, but we just have to keep moving.
True, 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 true.
And we pray for them. You know, jealousy comes in. I've had that happen recently. Can't mention any names, but somebody that I truly cared about and respected for many years had their back, man, bragged on them, praised them because I truly was proud of them
Hmm.
and their great, great accomplishments over the last 30 something years. And they found out I wrote a book and, everything changed. I mean, I'm not a millionaire or anything. I just wrote a book, man, but I had to move on. I can't be held back by that.
All right, before we get to Sheri, you're not a millionaire, but let me tell y'all, did I tell y'all Alan was one of my bestsellers? My best-selling authors came out the gate swinging. Do you hear me? Came out the gate swinging. I couldn't even believe. I was like, Alan, oh, you came out the gate swinging, baby.
I
Listen,
appreciate that.
bestseller off the top, off the grip, off the rip. Off the rip, okay? Cherie, let me just refresh that question. So, how do you handle moments when your vision outgrows people or spaces around you?
This is such a good question because this really does happen. And it happens when you find yourself walking in your true purpose, it usually seems like. And what I said before is that what I've learned is that seeds don't grow in toxic soil. And you have to realize that as your vision grows, you have to realize that not everybody can, like, Alan said, can walk with you through that. And that's tough, especially when it's people that you care about and you got to you can't fool with them anymore. You know what I'm saying? They just ain't in your corner the way that God intends it. But when God tells you to separate yourself for a season, he's really saying that you're on the right track. You're planting the right seeds, but but you can't let the weeds get in and take over what he's trying to do for you. Even like I said, even Jesus had to separate himself. The Bible says in Luke 5 that he withdrew into the wilderness to pray before he chose the 12 disciples. He went up into the mountain alone to hear from God in Luke 6. And in Mark, it talks all up and down in Mark how when he needed a little bit of a respite, he had to separate himself from the prayers and healing people, because you have to take that time that you need to heal. It also reminds me myself about, that separation from people. When God pulls you from people and pulls you into your dark place, pulls you into your cocoon, pulls you into your place where you feel like it's tight, it's dark, you feel isolated, you feel insecure, you feel left out. Those things happen when you are blessed, anointed, and chosen. You weren't called, you weren't picked. God chose you for this destiny. And when you get around, certain things or people that doesn't reflect what God has you for your purpose and plan, that's when that growth and that maturity happens, where you just have to know it doesn't matter how hard it hurts. You have to separate yourself if you want to manifest into that greatness that God has for you. And that's one thing that I had to learn. Everybody in my family, all my friends, even people that I really cared about, some people can't go with you. Some people are only meant for your life just to get you from A to B. They're not meant to go with you for the long ride, just for the short trip.
Right.
That's
That's good.
good. That's
Yeah.
Very
good.
good.
Yes.
To you,
Absolutely.
Well
Tracy.
said.
Yes. Well said. Absolutely. For me, I've learned to honor my growth at times like that, even when others can't see it yet. And it's tough. Sometimes the room sometimes the room I've been in just can't hold how I'm becoming, right? It can't hold it. It's too small,
Say that.
right? For the lack of better
Mhm.
words. And that's okay. Because at first, it obviously it feels uncomfortable because it's like, what are you talking about? Why I can't stay there? Like it's all good. Um, I can still love the people and appreciate where I've been or where they've been, while knowing it's time to expand. Right. So it doesn't have to end up in dissension. It could just be a gradual disconnect, but still honoring, what I mean, that space that I was in. And then for me, I handle those moments by trusting my intuition and staying rooted in my purpose, making sure that I stay rooted in my purpose over here in my business, and reminding myself that the evolution is a sign of alignment,
Hmm. Love it.
right?
I
So
love it. I'm going to
yeah,
put that quote in there. Evolution is the
it's a
sign of
sign of
alignment.
alignment.
Somebody write that in the chat. Evolution is the sign of alignment. I love to keep my
And
quotes,
not
honey.
arrogance. It's alignment, not arrogance.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
it. Also, guys, I want to mention I will be doing shorts of this podcast, so we'll be sending out shorts. This podcast will be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as Facebook and our YouTube channel, guys. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I want to ask
Absolutely.
a final question of each of you, because this is the part where we talk about the paper, baby, the money,
The chest,
the moolah. You know
the
what I
wood.
mean? So everyone, each one of you, I talked about Alan, Tracy, you being a celebrity stylist, fixing to be, because you're definitely gonna be styling me. Sheri with the boutique. Every one of you has turned your creativity into commerce.
Right.
What does visibility mean to you
Yes.
in this season of your business? And we'll go to Alan.
Ooh, to be honest with you, it means quite a bit, but it's relatively new to me
Mhm.
because for me, writing was just always that creative self-expression, and I never really wanted anything out of it. I just loved writing. But then when I realized, especially after this last, well, the first book too, it was more spiritually based book, Sleeping Through the Fire. So it spoke more to Christian type things. But when I did this book and I realized how many people were moved by different things in it, um, I said, wow, it's doing what I wanted it to do. You know, I write from soul to soul, from my soul to yours. That's how I write. So when people come to you and they tell you that they're removed by a particular piece, whether it's about fatherhood or about um, gratitude or whether it's about injustice, it really does something for me. And I think from that, a buddy and another fellow writer, good friend of mine, we've decided to do some other things that I think will materialize some good money if everything goes okay. So that's my next project, and we're going to try to work that into like BET, Netflix, and so forth and so on. So that's
Excellent.
what I'm going to be working on in the next 6 months. So I'll keep you guys posted. I can't say too much about it now, but it's going to be really good.
You heard it right here first on BLK Print TV talk show.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You heard this right here. So date this,
Exciting.
guys.
Exciting.
Date this. You heard it first here. So we're looking forward to it. So Tracy,
Yeah.
what about you? How about turning creativity into commerce?
Well, visibility for me, um, it means being seen for the depth behind the design. It's rarely about the actual design. It's all about the grassroots of how it came about in regards to visually getting the pattern and just working with my hands and things like that, through God. It's not about people noticing my work. It's about understanding the story, the intention, the cultural value, in every piece. In the beginning, I wanted my brand to be recognized, obviously, right? I literally did. I wanted my brand to be recognized, but now I want it to be remembered, right? So visually, I want my pieces to be remembered. I want people to see, Tracy Ambrose rap and feel connection,
Love
right?
it.
I don't want it to just be the trend. And if you notice, well, when you guys visit my site, you'll see it's rarely a trend that goes through any of the items, right? It is literally something you've never seen before. You'll even question whether it's yarn, that kind of feel. I want that connection, something that you can connect to, behind the brand or behind the visibility.
Wow. I feel so honored here. Cherie, what does visibility mean to you? And then talk to us about turning creativity into commerce.
Oh my goodness. The Bible speaks powerful about women who uses their hands not just to make things, but to serve, to create beauty, and to provide for their families as well. And that's always been an honor to with God. And you can go all up in Proverbs and everywhere else, and you can read about that type of woman, right? But visibility to me, when I create something with my butterfly effects, my centerpieces, if I make a art design, or I'm a book writer too, and things like that, it does come from the heart. Every centerpiece has little details in it that if you're not really paying attention, you're gonna miss.
Mhm.
Every centerpiece, every glass has like a whole theme in the inside of it. It's just not the centerpiece that you buy in the vase. Inside of each centerpiece that I make, it has like a whole theme. So that's what I create for my clients, and that visibility that I need, the visibility that God needs for me to show right now to the world is that you can create something beautiful no matter what type of darkness that you may go through.
Mm,
There's
mm,
beauty
mm.
in everything.
Amen.
There's beauty in every single thing in your life that you go through. That's the visibility that God wants me to work with and have right now. So that's what I go for. I pray before I touch any object and ask God to use my hands and guide me through what He wants me to show, whatever He wants me to create visibly for whomever. And when I'm creating something, y'all, I say, God, I know that this has an owner. I'm making this. You
Speak
told me to
it.
make it. There's an owner
Right.
for it. Somebody's gonna come in and buy it. It's already sold. I ain't worried
Amen.
about it.
I love
So
it.
when I put that into that, my soul, my spirit and prayer goes into every object. So when you purchase something from my butterfly effects, you're not just purchasing an object. You're purchasing something anointed by God.
That's awesome.
I don't know what y'all beliefs are out there, but if you're being anointed by, these hands are blessed, and you're being
Amen.
Yes.
anointed by something, by
Amen.
God, and
Yes.
that's what it means to me. What was the second part of the question?
Just about turning your creativity into commerce and that connection. But you really did
Okay.
answer it.
Yes, you
You
Okay, I
did.
just want to make
answered
sure.
it.
Hmm.
I want to make sure.
Yes. Before we close out, I do want to give you an opportunity, Cherie. Do you mind? Do you have a website?
I do. My website is mybutterflyeffects.com. It is under construction right now because God told me to dump it and restart over. So
Okay.
that's what I did.
Okay.
It hurt. Woo, it hurt. It took a lot of work building that website, and he told me to dump it. Y'all just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
Yes, I do.
mybutterflyeffects.com. Give me about a month and it'll be back up. But I am over on the
Okay.
military base in Carlisle's. Um, that goes into flow with, they're actually asking me to open up another My Butterfly Effects on two other military bases. Um, and I had to say, okay, God, I hear you, but give me a second. Let me get this one together first and see what I need to do. So I'm just super
Awesome.
excited. Let me just also say, me being married to a pastor, I do have a book out on Amazon called Married to the Pastor, Tales of a First Lady. When I'm telling y'all need to go get that book. It's this the first book. There's another book, and I might be reaching out to you, Katrina, about this book because I did this first book on my own, and I really just kind of ran with it. But I sold almost 1,000 copies, so I ain't do too bad.
Awesome. That's amazing. Well, we're gonna get together anyway because we need a
Yeah.
BLK. We need a BLK book stand in my butterfly fix anyway. So
Okay.
and we know my butterfly fix is gonna need their own jingle playing at the store while your
Yes,
customers come
ma'am.
in. So
We're gonna
we
be
gonna have to
talking.
get together, girl. That's how
Yes,
we do
ma'am.
business
Yes, ma'am.
around here. I love it. Listen, guys, this has been an awesome show.
Yes.
I do want to give you guys just a a small moment to give us a last minute word, if you want to give a piece of advice to anybody listening. And then we're going to have Alan read something from his book. We hope that he has, because he didn't know what he was going to read. So we hope that, his spirit has been touched to read something that will feed us before we get off. So I'm going to give Tracy, we'll start with you for the final words. We'll go to
Okay.
Sheri. Alan, we're going to let you do final words and close out with a piece.
Okay. Okay. So I just want to thank you. I really do. This has been an honor,
Oh,
um, humbling. I I even hesitated on saying yes, I will do it because I just been going through some sifting season. How about that?
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Sifting season. Yeah, that's what I'm going through right now, and I just didn't. I honestly didn't think I was enough. I'm just going to be very
What?
transparent. So I want to say thank you.
Oh
That's
my
the
God.
only way I want to close out on this one. Just thank you
Oh,
for the opportunity.
my
Thank you
honor.
for encouraging me with my own stuff. Just I just thank you.
You're
You,
so
Adrian,
very
everyone on
welcome.
staff, you guys, listening to you guys, just being part of the interview, I was just like, oh my God, like, wow. So just thank you. Just
You're
very,
so
very
very
thankful.
welcome. My honor and my honor, my
Yes,
privilege, my pleasure.
yes,
Sorry, Cherie.
yeah.
I just want to say thank you to Boss Ladies and Kings for not only, asking, presenting me with the opportunity to be a writer and a blogger in the magazine, but also just for the opportunity that I know so many things are, going to be blessed with you, Katrina, and your team with everything that you do. But for those out there who is wanting to just start, just focus on your gifts and talents that God has blessed you with and go from there. Pray on your gifts and talents and ask God to develop those and to focus on those because faith without works is dead. It's one thing to pray about something, but it's another thing that you never get off of your butt to do anything about it.
Right.
So, if you want to start a business, if you want to write your book, if you want to sing, the first thing you got to do is start. But again, I always say, don't compare yourself to anyone else or their journey, what they have, and how much or how quickly that they were able to develop these gifts and talents that they have, because you are uniquely you. God made you with only a purpose and a plan for just you, yourself, and nobody else.
Yeah.
So just keep praying and keep focusing on those. Write it down, journal it, and move your butt and get to shaking on it.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay.
Alan, we're going to give you your closing words and we'll let you read from your book. So, everybody, Mr. Strother.
Thank you. So, TT, you and Adrian have been absolutely awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Adrian's her business partner for all of those who are watching, and also a
she's
good
my
buddy of mine,
publishing
a friend of
manager.
mine. Yeah, she's an amazing lady, and both of you guys have been a great help. And I just appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate your patience with me and all of my varying writing styles during that publishing process. And
Perfectionist, Virgo, sorry.
yeah, well, I wasn't gonna say that part. But also, I'm very encouraged, very impressed, and very excited about the two ladies here, um,
Thank you.
Tracy and Cherie.
Thank you.
I hadn't met them before now. I'm glad I did. Wonderful ladies. I'm excited about what you're doing. I'm gonna put your stuff on my social media, however I
Same with
can
me.
help. If you guys need anything at all from me,
Thank you.
please let me know. I got you. I'm there.
Look at
Thank
these
you.
connections, real time connections, y'all.
Okay.
This is amazing, guys. Go
Yeah.
ahead and finish, Alan. I'm
As for
sorry.
the people listening or any fun, it's kind of encompasses everything that's been said already. If you have a passion and it's a real passion, I mean, it's real, you got to do it, man.
Mhm.
You have, if you're scared, take that scared energy and shake and do it if you have to,
Right.
whatever it takes. But you got to get out. You have to take that first step, and then another. So you have to take baby steps sometimes, but
Right.
don't let anything or anyone deter you from that. But make absolutely sure that you're doing your due diligence and preparing yourself for what it is that you have to do. Stay in prayer. When you ask God for to give you the things that you need, also ask Him to give you the things that He knows you need that you're not aware of.
That's
Right.
good.
Okay,
Okay.
That's
and
good.
That's
just
right.
keep moving forward. Keep your wits about you. Hold yourself accountable in all things, and the best of luck.
Awesome.
Thank
Hey,
you.
before you read, I just want to say one thing. I've asked, tonight's show is all about you guys because that's my purpose is to shine the spotlight on others. That is the goal of this platform. That is the goal of the magazine, and not just on any people, just not on anybody, but on everybody who deserves to shine. And you guys obviously deserve to. But I just want to say that I've asked each one of you about creativity, turning creativity into commerce, and what
Mhm.
visibility means to you. And I just want to give my spin on that just for a minute. As a publisher and as a shameless plug of the magazine and all things BLK print, I just want to say that, first of all, advertising is so, so, so important, guys. McDonald's is $1 billion company, yet they always advertise. And I'm going to
Mhm.
tell you something. Anywhere you go in any country, in any part of the world, you see the golden arches, you
Mhm.
know what that is. And there's a reason why they advertise. And I'm telling you here, I make advertising affordable. You can advertise for as low as $25 to $500 and even beyond because we can do multiple magazines and spreads. What I'm
Okay.
saying is that you can have the best product, the best service, the most blessed brand. But if no
Mhm.
one knows it's there on
Right.
Amazon, on your website, then you just have the best product that no one knows is there. So shout
Right.
out to BLK Print.
Mhm.
Thank you,
Yes.
ladies, for
Thank you.
joining me tonight. I'm going to get you backstage while Alan reads. I'm going to give him the spotlight for this moment, and you'll
Excellent.
be on stage reading, Alan.
All right.
Thank you.
So I'm torn between two pieces. Um, that's kind of sad. I should have been more prepared. But I think I'm going to go with one called Stolen Blankets. When we think of blankets, we think of comfort, we think of warmth, we think of reliability, and all of these, we think of trust. We know that we can reach out with our eyes closed and grab it and cover us. Well, metaphorically speaking, legacies that we as a people, and I'm speaking of Black people right now, have set up and in the past have tried to set up, a lot of times were destroyed and stolen from us. But it doesn't mean we quit. We keep going, we keep pushing forward, and we build new ones. So this poem, Stolen Blankets, speaks of those things that were taken from us, those legacies, those things that our ancestors hoped could be passed down um, for, you know, our social growth, economic growth, as well as spiritual growth. And in all of those ways, they were interrupted. It's also a poem about us working together to make it happen and chastising those who aren't working with us to do it. So I'm going to get started. It's called Stolen Blankets. Resilience and pain together conceived, strength that embodies the blanket's weave. Yet it doesn't comfort or warm its creator, but the legacy of a demonic hater. Words like freedom and injustice still ring, louder than the star-spangled banner we sing. Like the Pledge of Allegiance, hypocrisy's air, still handing thirsty men bottles of air. Hoping I won't come into power, your conscience reminds you there could come an hour when karma and vengeance breed to produce thievery, hatred, greed, and abuse. My spirit is led by someone you don't know. Your actions have made that apparent, and so I'll never descend to the hell you dwell in. I'm weaving, sewing new blankets for when those with diminished strength who are weak, those afraid or no platforms to speak, whose blankets you've taken from families and used, futures, humanity, freedom abused. My blanket can warm them in spirit and mind, and even stimulate sight for the blind, because some of my people are blinded by trees, so the forest can't show them they dance on their knees. Puppets walking in perpetual fear, doing then saying what the thief wants to hear, for scraps from the table tossed out their way, like teaching a puppy to come sit and stay. The sellout worse than the seller of old, discarding the lessons in history told. Mentality of the ancestral slave, for some, no escape, too deeply engraved. I'll keep weaving blankets without any guilt, writing with others to make a strong quilt, stirring, shaking, and waking up souls, encouraging puppets to revisit their roles. Still always wary of the thief in the night, they want the parade, but weren't part of the fight. Stealing hopes and dreams that ensured stability, legacies we hoped would endure. Let's restore the humanity snatched without care, scattered like birdseed, or breadcrumbs and shared. The proverbial light shining brightly on call was never meant for our tunnel at all. It's all in the past. It's time to move on. No rope for the mountain we've been climbing on. Still kicking boulders from the top for our fall, but the Lord will require you answer for all. I'll fight the injustice this life will bring. My spiritual weaving and stitching will sing songs to the hearts of those in need. New blankets are coming, coming indeed. Thank you.
Incredible. Thank you so very much again for reading that. Didn't I tell you that his poetry was fire, guys? So definitely get the book Behind Closed Words. It is available on Amazon. I did put a link in the chat, but we had that chat moving so quick. I don't know what sort of error I got. You can also go to girlbossglobalhq.com and click on our Divine Ink under our author group, and Alan is the very first one there. You can click on that. It will take you directly to his Amazon. Okay, guys? Again, I want to thank you, Alan, and the rest of my
Thank
guests
you.
for joining me tonight. Have a wonderful night. I am going to remove you from the chat, and then I'll go ahead and have my final words with my viewing audience. But thank you again. I really appreciate this. You were wonderful. Thank you. All right, guys, as you can see, oof, baby, I hope that y'all took some notes tonight. What an incredible conversation. I hope you caught every gem that was dropped because that is what evolution looks like. It looks like growth, grace, and grit in real time. So whether you're writing a book, whether you are designing your next big idea, remember it is not just about being seen. Okay, it's about being significant. Okay, the vision was never meant to stay small. So you guys just keep evolving, keep creating, keep showing up, because your visibility is somebody else's inspiration, just like these people were for me tonight. If you'd like to be a guest on an upcoming episode of Boss Ladies and Kings TV talk show, that is reserved for the magazine. So this show in particular, where it gives you the freedom to talk and express, if you're an individual viewer, I can have your product as the third guest or something. So I am still working out my logistics, but definitely if you're ready to advertise your brand inside BLK Print Magazine or on our TV talk show, we'd love to feature you. So you can email us at blkprintmagazine@gmail.com. You can follow us on all platforms. Of course, you know we are on YouTube. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as Facebook. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on all of our channels so you never miss an episode, okay? And we've got even more powerhouse guests coming. We have great conversations coming, and we have amazing opportunities coming. So until next time, remember, you guys lead with purpose, evolve with power, and keep your vision visible. Good night, family, and thanks for joining.
Girl Boss Global Enterprises, bringing your brand to life and your vision to the world. Where purpose meets power and black women run the world. Where purpose meets power, purpose meets power. Where purpose meets power and black women run the world.
Write it, publish it, own it.